What is Flock Theatre? Flock Theatre is an unscripted theatre company that is producing shows, creating shows, and performing shows, as well as managing an improvised theatre school. Today is pretty big. We are rehearsing a fully new show that will premiere tonight for the last evening of the Flock Festival. It's an improvised version of a Molière theatre play, the French playwright from the 17th century. To be able to make up stories on the spot, to be able to create characters, create dialogues, create staging, create stories on the spot, we need to work a lot on different skills and different techniques.
If you can switch when I ring the bell, it's difficult, right? So have fun with that.
So in the same way that footballers will rehearse their techniques for playing a good game, we've been trying to work out how to play a good Molière show. So we've been rehearsing quite a lot with dialogue, the rhythms of Molière, so that when we speak, even though we're not speaking the original French, we can honour that rhythm and the sort of joyous energy that brings the show.
How about your children? Your children must value
Do not speak to me about my children.
But your children.
I will not talk about the children.
The children.
We can give the semblance of doing a pre-rehearsed play and make it really feel like a true theatrical experience for the audience by treating it that way, treating it with respect and giving our characters status. But we've been rehearsing these things so that even though it's improvised, we are using the techniques that you would see in a real Molière play.
Definitely a lot of improvised theater or improv is linked to stand-up and to comedy, and a lot of people are thinking primarily of these aspects of what improv has to offer. The thing that we tend to do at Flock Theatre is to get closer to classical theater or scripted theater, which means that we will try most of the time to tell one single story over 60, 75 minutes. Very often we will describe or imagine improv as being in the moment only, reacting in the moment, and that is definitely part of it. But I think in unscripted theater, there is also a lot of taking into account the coherence of the story, the coherence of the characters, and trying to make sure that we are not breaking anything.
So the cast of Molière tonight all have a lot of improvisation experience already. So actually the process of preparing for tonight's show started a long time ago when Gael was choosing his cast. So he's aware that he has people who are comfortable with doing narrative improvisation and are then willing to be directed and to learn from his specialist experience.
It's a comedy show. It's a commentary on society. It's meant to make people think and to be funny.
The actors are the ones that we see, obviously, but there is also the musicians or the person behind music. Sometimes we don't have live music, we have pre-recorded music. The person that is behind lights. We have the people that help with designing the sets, potentially building the sets, building the stage. We have the people that potentially think about the costumes and design the costumes. There are obviously all of the production team around and the people that are helping to produce that show, which involves, well, also the people that are going to do the advertisements, the people that are going to take pictures, the people that are going to welcome the audience. All of that is part of the audience experience, and therefore there is quite a lot of people involved into creating an improv show. The exact same way there is quite a lot of improv, a lot of people behind the stage in a scripted theater play. 15 minutes before the show is always this limbo time where, as a performer, you tend to feel like everything is overwhelming and you have no clue what you're going to do, and it's the stress is arising. What we try to do is to make the players connect with each other, warm up their voice, warm up their body, to get ready to be present in the moment and also connect with each other, to make sure that they are actually entering the stage in that state of being with each other, being in the moment, being present and being available to create together.
It's always nerve-wracking when you're doing the first night of a new show. First of all, of course, we want to give the audience a good show, and not just a funny show. Obviously, improvisation can be so funny, but there are a lot of shows out there that are just purely, you know, fun games and jokes, and they're wonderful things to see. But this feels like a responsibility with tonight's show, to really do a good, proper theatre show, something that makes the audience feel like, even though we're, you know, in a fun sort of urban Amsterdam venue, that if they shut their eyes, they could be in the Comédie Française. We want to honor the genre and give the audience laughs, but also make them feel this is a great theatre show.
If I dream big, what's next for Flock Theatre? I think becoming a reference in terms of unscripted theatre. We've been taking steps forward to professionalize and to renew the scene, to create new things. And I would love for that to be recognized locally by the community, but also by institutions, by audiences, to keep growing our audiences, and maybe becoming an institution also for the international community, for people to know that in Amsterdam there is this thing that is called Flock Theatre, and that if you go there any night of the week, it's going to be good. It's going to be nice. It's going to be a pleasant night. And maybe it's going to be different. Maybe you're going to like it. Maybe you're not going to like it. But for sure, you're going to have a good night out. Yeah, I think that would be nice to become a reference, both locally and internationally.